Good evening. We are back on a Tuesday or a Thursday with Week 12 finishing yesterday with a matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, today we're going to talk about that game, and then I'm going to give you guys my top 10 for my Week 13 power rankings. So, are you ready to get your fix? Well, let's start with a matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this game was moved 3 times due to multiple positive COVID-19 tests in the Ravens organization. One of those positive tests included star quarterback Lamar Jackson, which meant the Ravens had, 2 options at quarterback, either Robert Griffin III or Trace McSorley. Well, the Ravens chose to go with RG3 to start the game. Right from the start, you could kind of tell that it was going to be a long game with RG3 at quarterback just because of how their offense was moving, because it really wasn't moving. RG3 eventually got benched after having some hamstring problems, but then again, he really wasn't helping the Ravens' chances kind of at all. In this game, RG3 went 7 for 12 with 33 yards passing and an interception, and he was sacked 3 times. He also ran the ball 7 times for 68 yards. So after getting benched, though, the Ravens, they turned to Trace McSorley, who actually I think is the better backup in my eyes. Yesterday, you could really tell just how comfortable the rest of that offense was with him at quarterback. He didn't have a crazy amount of yards either, but the offense kind of just looked smoother in a way with Trace out there. Now, Trace went 2 for 6, so like I said, not that much, but 77 yards on those 2 passes and a touchdown. So like I said, not that great, but it's still something. Plus, he found a way to get into the end zone, which is something RG3 couldn't do. On the Steelers side of things, the only thing I'm worried about, like I've noted a couple times, is their offense. Their offense just can't get a solid drive at all. They have, the pieces to do so, but they just can't get anything going. They'll come out and get a couple big plays so it looks like they can move the ball, but they only get those big plays every once in a while, so it keeps the other team kind of in the game. This offense would not be able to keep up with the powerhouse offense of the Chiefs. It's just that simple, The Chiefs' offense is way too consistent and good, whereas, the Steelers, they'd put up a fight until about that fourth quarter because of their defense, but that offense wouldn't be able to put up enough points on the board to get the win. If the Steelers figure out, their offensive problems and start moving the ball, then they might just be a legit Super Bowl contender. But for now, I just don't see them beating the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's switch gears now to my top 10 teams going into Week 13, starting at number 10. I got the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this team is in rough shape, And they're on pace right now to miss the playoffs if they continue to play like how they have been. So we'll kind of see where they go from there. At 9, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They just came off a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that offense is just not consistent enough to win games, and their defense hasn't been helping them that much either. At 8, I got the Miami Dolphins because that defense is really solid, and they make plays when they need to. Offensively, they need some work, but they do enough to keep them in, some games. At 7, I got the Tennessee Titans, who gave the Colts a beating 45-26, coming off this big win, especially with it being a divisional game. You can tell that this team is legit, and looking to make a run in the playoffs. At 6, I got the Green Bay Packers, who still have a good offense, with a defense that can put on a show, but they just need to stop the run, and that's what they did a little bit against the Bears. But then again, the Bears really don't have a solid running back at all. So we'll see what that defense does going forward. So at 5, I got the Seattle Seahawks. They easily took care of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that offense is scary once they get going, especially when DK Metcalf gets the ball. At 4, I got the Buffalo Bills, who beat an all-right Los Angeles Chargers team, even though their record says otherwise. But the Bills pulled away with the win. Once Josh Allen gets going, he's really hard to stop, and that defense is stacked with some solid defensive backs. At 3, I got the New Orleans Saints. After losing Drew Brees, the Saints have still found a way to win games and do it somewhat easily with running the right plays at the right time. And once they get Drew back, this team's going to make a run in the playoffs. At 2, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers still. Look, like I noted earlier, the Steelers' defense isn't the problem at all, by any means. Their offense is what scares me because they just can't move the ball consistently downfield. So that leads me to my number 1 team again, the Kansas City Chiefs. I still got the Chiefs at 1 because I don't think anybody can stop this offense. And if their defense is playing at a high enough level, this team really can't be stopped. They just can't. The Chiefs have a really solid chance at going to the Super Bowl once again. The only loss this season they have is against the Raiders, and they prove that they can beat them once again, beating them in their second matchup. So, look, this Chiefs team, there's no doubt in my mind they're going back. They're going right back to the Super Bowl. NFC wise, there's there's really not a solid front runner. They're all really decent, but it's just going to come down to the last few seconds. Well, that's going to end our discussion today as we now wait for Week 13 to take place starting Sunday with some pretty solid matchups. Going to go Monday and then Tuesday again. We would be playing tonight, but that game got moved to Tuesday, I believe, because I think the Ravens or something was supposed to play, or the Cowboys were. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But, hey, we still got some more football coming up. I'm excited. Y'all probably are excited, so we'll see what happens there. Also, if you want to check out the rest of my Week 13 power rankings, they're going to be on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning, hopefully no later than about this time, about 6 o'clock. So, anyways, thanks for stopping by. Hey, we'll see you Monday, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.